Hi, I'm Sarah from the Accidental Healthcare Business Owner, and this is Thriving Solo, where I'm hoping to help self-employed acupuncturists and other solo holistic or healthcare providers who are amazing at client care but feel a little bit unsure or just plain fed up of the hours taken up by the non-clinical side of running a sustainable practice. A little before I turned 50, I retrained in acupuncture and then I ran my own clinic, South Scarborough Acupuncture, for 5 years before retiring from that. And I can't stay away, so I'm back to, as I say, to try and help others who are in the same position. I heard from numerous colleagues, clients, and even other service providers that I went to who feel swamped with everything outside of the client work. It's all the paperwork, the taxes, the phone calls, sometimes all at once, that just take us away from why we started to do this. So what I'm wanting to do is give you some calm, plain advice and a little bit of, how I started to manage my time better, how I found some hacks, some tips that I'm hoping will help you to save time and help you to create a larger client base in less time than it took me. So what do I mean by a solo health practice? Not everybody's an acupuncturist. I've also worked with chiropractors, massage therapists. What I want to do is just focus on those of you that I was one of, where you're running the show. There aren't any bosses, there's no partners, it's just you. You may be renting a room, and that might give you a few little sort of advantages over somebody who's actually running their own clinic from their own premises. You might be working from home, as I did. I have my own little annex here where I'm actually filming now. And this was my clinic, and it's an annex to my home. You could be a mobile professional providing your services. My annex here was originally a garage that had been extended, and it worked out great for me because it meant that I was actually away from my house where my dog was, but I was close enough that I can just pop in and out as I needed. So why do people like to go solo? There are a lot of advantages. I had the flexibility to set my own schedule. I could choose my own clients. There were some clients, I'll be honest, that I phased out over time. We did not really gel and they didn't respect my boundaries. So it gives you that chance to make that decision and choose those clients. If you're working for somebody else, you don't get that choice. It just means that you can make your own decisions. And that decision might be to actually start work over in the house in your pajamas. Obviously, that's not the client-facing side, but there are other parts to running a solo practice. You've got a lot more control over how you treat your clients, how you set up your clinic room, how you run your hours. It is a potential for a better life-work balance, but only if you make it so. That's part of the problem, that as a solo health practitioner, you're working all the time, or you can be working all the time. You have to set your own boundaries as well for that, and possibly with your family as well, so that they know when you can't be interrupted. The great thing is that you can start to do the things you want to do when you want to do them, but you've got to remember that that comes at a cost. I mean, one of the perks for me was that I knew already when I set up my clinic that I wanted to work part-time, part-time clinic hours, because I already knew that I'd got other work duties outside of those clinical hours. But it also meant that I was able to spend time with family and friends, and I scheduled that in. There are also challenges, of course. The downside to running your own business is that you're in charge of everything. You've got the calls from clients, the bookkeeping, the cleaning, the laundry. Some of these can be outsourced, and there are ways to speed some of these up. And that's some of what I'm going to be sharing with you over time. It can get a little lonely if you're used to having colleagues to talk things over with, then you may need to set up some additional connections that you're able to use in that way. It's not lonely in so much as we've got the clients to work with. So, you know, there is the social side as well of that, but you're not going to be talking technical with clients most of the time. There's no built-in safety net, of course. If you do get sick or if your family is sick, then you're not going to get paid if you're having to take the time off to deal with that. So is solo practice right for you? It's worth reflecting on your comfort level with wearing the different hats. Are you happy enough to be doing the various tasks that are involved in doing the non-clinical work as well as clinical? Do you like having full control, or do you like having somebody to help you step by step? Do you prefer to have teamwork? You also need to think about how you're able to respond to changes in your income levels, because there will be times when things are a little bit quiet, and there will be times when you're busier than you want to be. Of course, the busy times often come at the time that we actually want to have a bit of quiet time. So have a good think about, if you're at the stage where you've not made the decision yet, have a good think about those sorts of issues and how you feel you would respond to them. It's worth thinking as well that although there are the drawbacks, there are ways to manage those. So if you like having people to bounce ideas off, there are options for that outside of actually working with a team. And I'll be covering some of those in future talks. A few little tips to help succeed without burning out are: keep your admin tools simple, especially to start. You can just use pen and paper, perhaps not pen and paper, perhaps a keyboard. If you're like me, most things are actually recorded on computer, phone, iPad, whatever it is. Make sure that you schedule time for breaks, short breaks during the day, you know, a little breather here and there so that you can catch up with things, but also to make sure that you do take time off on a regular basis as well. Build up a support network outside of your practice. Other solo practitioners, maybe a local business group, or, you know, join an online forum. I'm going to be building a community and you may wish to join me over there. Another tip is to set boundaries for work. When you're working, you are working, but you also need to make sure that non-working time is looked after as well, that you make sure that you know that there are times that you are going to not respond to clients. I've known other healthcare workers that have been responding to clients at 10 o'clock at night, and that shouldn't be necessary and needs to be set up so that there isn't an expectation of that. Remind yourself that you don't need to do everything all at once. You can take small steps and build things up slowly. And if you don't have so many clients at the beginning, that is the perfect time to be starting to put processes in place to support you when you do get busy. If you've got a self-care tip that you'd like to share, please pop it in the comments. I'd love to know. So just to bring things back to a close, thinking about whether or not to go solo. Solo practice is great in terms of providing freedom, but it also carries all the grown-up jobs that go with it. Have a look at what matters most to you. Is it that sort of freedom, or is it a steady paycheck or something else? So what I knew I wanted was the freedom. That was something that was important to me. I was quite lucky that we'd also got another income coming in each month, so that did help. You might not be in that position, I understand that. And I'd just like to thank you for watching and let you know that you're not alone, whether or not you go the solo path or not. And please, if you'd like to follow more, please like, subscribe, or share if this has helped you in any way. And I look forward to speaking with you again soon.